Hey, let's be honest for a second. If you're listening to this episode, there's a very good chance you either forgot to buy a gift or you bought something and now you're questioning all of your life choices. But good news is you're not too late because today I'm running through last minute tech gifts. I actually use no filler, no gimmicks. It's December 23rd, so you have a couple days to go get them. This is episode 25 of Tech with Josh, and as you read, title is Last Minute Tech Gifts I'd actually buy, and most of these I actually own. In this episode, I'm going to actually give you the MSRP in US dollars, of course. These are the manufacturer's suggested retail pricing. There's sales on a lot of them, but I don't want to put those pricing because you can use this episode anytime because it's last minute tech gifts. The first tech gift that I would highly recommend is a wireless mouse. And me personally, I've had this mouse for a little bit over a month. It is the Logitech MX Master 4. By the way, all of the products that I mentioned here, I'm not sponsored by. Use my own money to purchase. Nobody's paying me for my opinion. So this is my daily use mouse when I'm working or creating. I'm using this mouse. It's not a gaming mouse. I have a different mouse for that. But here's the thing. It is steep. It is $120, but it has some great features. It is very ergonomic. The buttons, so the problem is there's no onboard storage. Let me just get that out. So on each computer that you're using it, if you want your macros, things like that, you have to have the Logitech software. The Logitech software is pretty good for this, but there's now a button on the thumb rest, and it has macros. So I use it to launch Notability, to take a screenshot, to launch the app itself, and also for AI. Pretty good. They added another button above that, so there's the forward and back by default buttons right under the scroll wheel. There's a scroll wheel on the side, by the way. So it goes left and right, and you have the normal up and down scroll wheel that you can unlock. But there's a third button now, and you can use it with for gestures, so you can go up while holding the button, left, right, down, or just click it, and they do different things. So it's very customizable. Like I said, $120 is kind of steep for a mouse, but the battery life is great. All the tech YouTubers live and die by the MX series, and before this, I was using an MX Master 3S. Honestly, I upgraded because I had a stipend, but I enjoy it way more than my 3S because of those macros and those gestures. Now, this, by the way, is in no particular order. But the next item I want to talk about are power banks. And the ones I mentioned, you don't have to go with these. These are my personal favorite. And that's the Charge. Sharge is the name of the company. And I want to touch on two power banks. The first one is my go-to power bank whenever I need to charge my devices fast and multiple devices. And that's my Shargeek 170. The Shargeek 170. It's a dumb name, trust me. SHAR Geek GEEK. One word, 170, and it can output 170 watts. But the main thing is that's combined through all the ports at one time. But the reason I like it because my laptop that I'm using right now to record this and my daily driver for laptops is my M4 Pro MacBook Pro 16-inch that charges at 140 watts. So my power bank can do it. It is airline safe, pretty big capacity. It MSRP is 199, but they go between 129 to 199 all the time. Right now, when I was doing the script for this episode, I actually saw it for 99 on the Charge website. I don't know how long that sale is gonna last. Like I said, it's December 23rd right now. It's a last minute tech gift, but it's great. It's transparent, so that's why I like their products, and it has a nice display. The next power bank by them that I want to touch on is the iceMac series. So there's the Charge iceMac 1, 2, and 3. 3 is the newest one, and it's more of an everyday carry. Me, I'm in New York City. I always walk with a smaller power bank inside my coat pocket or my pants pocket because I'm out and about using my phones on the train, reading, things like that. And in case of emergency, you have to have something to charge. And the iceMac uses the Key 2. Key is QI, by the way. two standard, so it does the wireless charging. It has a kickstand, so you can prop up your phone. You can put it in the mode that has the clock or whatever on it. If you have an iPhone, the standby, that's the name of it. But the main thing is, it has a fan, so it actually cools it as it charges. Because wireless charging is great. The problem is, it does heat up the phone. And now with more phones using Key 2 and having cases in case they don't have the magnets, OnePlus. But no, seriously, you can use it on the Samsung phone. You can use it on the new Pixels with the Pixel Snap covers. You can use it on the OnePlus with their cover. And guess what? If you don't have a phone that has MagSafe or Key 2 or even Key 1, you can just plug it in hardwire. It does have a USB port, USB-C of course, because it's the future. And sticking to wireless chargers, guess what? You need a home charger. Why do I say that? Hey, because it's actually cool. So I have an Apple Watch. I don't wear it when I'm out and about. I use one of my actual watches for that. It's for if I'm working out or to track my sleep. So I have a 3-in-1 charger. What is the 3-in-1 charger? Well, it has a MagSafe magnet. It has another wireless charging pad in the back for, what do you know, AirPods or wireless earbuds. Then it has a little piece for the watch. And the one I want to mention is one that's by a great company, ESR. You probably heard many tech tubers talk about it. And it's the ESR Cryo Boost 3-in-1. The Key 2.2 version, which is the newest standard, and 25 watts total output. Great, you leave it, you forget it, you go do what you gotta do, come back, and all three devices are charging pretty fast. Not as fast as wired, of course, but it's pretty fast. And the MSRP is $70 for this. Now, let's talk about headphones and earbuds. As most people know, if you listen to my show, my main phone is an iPhone, or the ecosystem, because I use Macs. And as I mentioned, Apple Watch. And guess what? I mentioned headphones. And my headphones of choice for earbuds are my AirPod Pro 3s. What's so special about them? Well, I had the Pro 1s, the Pro 2s, now the Pro 3s. Do you need the Pro 3s? Not really. I recommend the Pro 3s because of the ear tips. You can use different size ear tips based on your ears, and these go a bit deeper, but they're softer. So you might like that feeling, you might not. What I recommend, go to Apple Store, test them out, and see. They're a bit pricey, $250. But the time of year it is now when I'm recording this, they are going on sale. So you can probably pick them up cheaper or pick up the Pro 2s for a bit cheaper. Pro 2s do have some of those same features. It does have the translation feature, things like that. And guess what? The Pro 3s have less battery life, but they have better noise cancellation. And like I said, I live in New York City and I'm on the subway, and there's construction being done all the time somewhere. So they're great for that. If you're not a big Apple user, what I would say, the Pixel Bud Pro 2. It's a great alternative. Solid sound, active noise cancellation, does the live translation, and it integrates with Gemini. So that's great. Gemini is a good thing. But here's the thing. Those are about $230 MSRP. Let's say you don't have all that money. Guess what? I have something for you. It's called the Moondrop Chew 2. CHU. And then II, or the number 2. And these are great earphones. I took this with me to Japan because it was a long flight and I didn't want my AirPods Pros to die, put them in the charger. No, I wanted to actually use headphones the whole time. And they're literally at most $40 MSRP. You could find them probably cheaper online if you do some research. But mind you, these do have a traditional 3.5 millimeter headphone jack output or input, whichever. So you will need a converter. You can pick up a cheap converter. I have literally an Anchor and a Ugreen one. What's the difference? Depends on what you want. One is a bit louder, one's a bit clearer. You could just pick one up. Like I said, they don't break the bank at most $15, but it is a great pick up is called Chi-Fi, Chinese Hi-Fi, and IEMs, they're great from there. Now, I told you about wireless home chargers, power banks, all this and that. Let's talk about phones. I can tell you, get this phone, the Samsung Z Fold 7. I was going to say TriPhone. No, I'm still not going to buy that. Or the OnePlus 15, or the OnePlus 15R. Don't get the 15R. Horrible, bang for your buck. But the phones that I would recommend, iPhone 17 and the Pixel 10. If you want a nice Android phone, the Pixel 10, the cleanest Android experience, great camera. It's about $800. There are some sales. Started the other day for $450. Honestly, great price. Carry deals right now. If you want to carry a deal, you could probably find one. Or if you have Google Fi, they do some great deals on Pixel because Google owns the sales service and the phone. But it is simple Android. I personally have a third line with a Pixel 7 Pro that I use to mess around with it. The Pixel series are great phones. I have friends who live and die by Pixels. I just prefer Samsung because their foldables do a bit more. And my second line is a foldable Samsung. And I mentioned the iPhone 17. The 17 doesn't have all the bells and whistles as the Pro, but that's to be expected with the price difference. It starts off at $800. You're getting ProMotion, which is the 120 hertz screen, which was a Pro only feature, but in the regular 17 body, has USB-C. It's a great phone. If you go super sad from watch people talk about their favorite phones, iPhone 17 is mentioned over and over, and of course the Z Fold 7. But the 17, great iPhone. You can get a deal with a carrier, especially right now during the holidays. I would recommend it. iPhones, there's only one series always. There's 17, 16, 18. But the base model 17 stole the show this year. I use the 17 Pro Max, like the bigger screen, the cameras, and all of the other features you get with it. But now, let's go to a more niche product, a docking station. So you could buy a little USB-C hub. As we all know, everything's USB-C, not enough ports. And they're not wrong, but kind of are, because USB-C is so versatile that you can get a hub to do everything. If you're older, you know that back in the day, laptops, you can buy a laptop and then they have a port on the bottom to dock it so you can get more ports. But guess what? You change laptop companies or you buy like a new model, they change the port. Guess what? You can't use that. So that's why Thunderbolt docks are great, especially since they're using the USB-C interface. I've been using docks for a while. I had a Thunderbolt 2 dock, Thunderbolt 3. Right now, I have a Thunderbolt 4 dock. I know Thunderbolt 5 is a thing. I don't need it for my workflow. But my dock of choice right now that I'm personally using, that I paid a lot of money for, is a Thunderbolt 4 dock by CalDigit, which is the CalDigit TS4. You can pick up a TS3. It just gives you 1 gig Ethernet, not all of the same ports, slightly slower bandwidth. But I personally use the TS4. There's the TS5 that gives you 10 gig Ethernet. I don't need 10 gig Ethernet right now. But the TS4 solves all my problems, gives me more USB ports. It just sits there. I charge my laptop when it's docked to it via that Thunderbolt cable. It has more card reader slots than I have on the Mac, which is just a regular SD card. So it gives me the micro right there. But you don't really need something as expensive. You can get just a USB-C dock in case your computer doesn't support Thunderbolt. With the Thunderbolt, it just lets you daisy chain and do more bandwidth to it. And there's other ones. There's the Ugreen ones, Ivanki. But me personally, I can co-sign the CalDigit TS4. By the way, this next product is literally my favorite product on this list. And it is something that doesn't break the bank and every single person can actually use. It's a USB-C cable, but not any USB-C cable. This is the Nomad Charge Key 240 watt. remember 240 watt because there's an older version that's not as great. This is a small cable that's a USB-C cable that charges up to 240 watts. So I can charge my MacBook with it in a pinch, and it lives on your keychain. It is a small wire. I keep one on my keychain and I keep one in my book bag. And it's just a wire, it's magnetic, so the heads stay together. It's not the longest wire, but guess what? It's also a 3.1, USB 3.1. What is that? Well, that means it can support data transfers of up to 10 gigabits. What does that mean? Well, if you buy the iPhone 17, you know what comes in there? A USB-C cable. Now all USB-C cables are the same. That cable is USB-C too. Guess what? My 17 Pro Max came with a USB-C 2.0 cable, which means it only goes up to 480 megabits per second. As I said, this charge key goes to 240. I mean, the 240 watts goes to 10 gigabits. 1 gigabit's essentially 1,000 megabits. So it's a lot faster. It's 20 times as fast. Technically a little bit more. And it's so small and $30. Great stocking stuff, honestly. Because you always have it. Hey, I'm going to give you another one. This isn't even my script. It's an OLight flashlight. You can pick one up for about $25. It's a keychain flashlight, USB-C. I have a bunch of those as well. My car keys or my actual keys. I have one here on the desk. Take a look. Not the brightest, but it's way brighter than your phone. But after having a USB-C wire, you need a charging brick. What charging brick does Josh use? I use Ugreen for my charging brick. I use the NetSode series, which are the big boys that have higher watts. My main NetSode is a 140 because, like I said, I have the Mac in case I need it. I travel with the NetSode 140. It has 3 ports. It does separate if you use more than one port, but it's great because I can charge my iPad on it and my Mac not full speed, but both at the same time, and even charge up my phone. When I went to Japan, I used all those because I have 2 phones and I traveled with the iPad. All 3 ports were used the whole trip. But there's also the Uno series, and the Uno series is so cute. It has the little robot face. So these are smaller chargers. It's not the big boys. Usually 1, 2, or 3 ports, but they're more cutesy. So when you plug them in, they have little eyes and like a mouth that light up to show that power's going to it. And the plug cover, because it's not folding plug, are little feet. So it's like a little robot friend, and they have different ones. Honestly, the price range varies because there's so many different ones based on how many watts you need, between $30 to about $100. And now let's talk about a microphone. I'm talking on the microphone. I'm not telling you buy the microphone I use. This microphone is expensive. I use a Shure SM7B, then I have a fat head on it, then I have to have an interface. But hear me out. If you want to get into audio, content creation, or you just need a better mic to game, you can look at the Five Fine USB and SLR microphone. What is Fine Fine? I have no clue, but guess what? It doesn't break the bank. And just look up FINE space SLR/USB gaming microphone set, and literally it's like $70. You're getting an arm. It's not the greatest arm, but guess what? It's an arm, and you're getting a microphone with RGB. I don't care if RGB, but the main thing is, as I mentioned, SLR/USB. SLR is what I use. It's more professional. You have to have an interface with phantom power, things like that. So it's if you want to get more professional, you get mixer later on. You can do that with this microphone. And then it has a USB-C port as well. So you can just plug and play. And you get that for less than $100. just so you know, my setup with the cable and the interface is close to $1,000, and you get all of that for less than $100. Plug and play. Heck, you can even use it on your phone if you have a USB-C phone that has USB 3, like the Samsungs, the higher ends, the iPhone Pro line, the iPad, and you could just record from there. But you have the boom arm, and it's just overall a great deal that you shouldn't pass up on. And like I said, these are tech that I personally use or know people that have used these items, and these are last minute tech ideas. It's December 23rd at the time of recording and publishing. You should go and actually go get these items if you need some last minute gifts. And if this episode helped you out, make sure to follow or subscribe to Tech with Josh. And if you want to find me, go booksbyjosh.com and you'll find my other shows. And that's basically it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.